have this vivid memory of sitting in the bathtub one time and just crying.
I think I punched my dad once.
You're not in charge of me right now. Like, you just won't leave me alone.
I had an epidural in my back, so I couldn't move very well.
She just wanted me to keep pushing and keep going.
Everybody had one. Like, if you didn't have one, you were looked down upon.
This is a show where teenagers share their experiences growing up in today's world. I'm your host, Dr. RJ, and this is A Teen's Perspective.
So today we actually have a fun session. It's actually one of my favorite ones. Basically, it's like a Q&A. So you guys get to ask me questions, and then I get to respond to those. You know, I get to speak to you more from a life coaching standpoint, which I think is huge. But I do want to caution all of my jokesters out there. So I know like Aiden, he's a jokester, but I was a jokester too. So when I was in high school and even into dental school, I was like the class clown. I would always make jokes and be doing all that. But I learned a lesson one day, and I'm going to share that lesson with you. So I was in residency, and we had a professor who used to use a filler, but it was like a filler word that you just really don't hear often, right? Like, so you hear right, you hear like. Most of you have friends that's like, you know, these little filler words. Well, his filler word was, do you understand what I'm saying? So it was like, do you understand what I'm saying, right? So that was his word. He would literally say that almost after every sentence. So the first time we get there, and there's only like 6 of us. It's a residency, so it's really small. So we're around a table, and he's talking, he's teaching, and he kept saying that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, do you understand what I'm saying? And we were like, yes, yes. And after a while, we we're like, maybe this is just his like way of talking, right? So we finished the class, we went to lunch, and we all talked about it. We were like, man, he said that like a bunch. So me being the jokester that I am, I thought I go back to the class, and then I start like keeping a tally. And I'm sitting next to him. And so first I made a comment, and I was like, hey, should we respond when you say, do you understand what I'm saying? And he was just like, I don't know. You respond. So I was like, okay. So I had this list, and every time he said it, I'm like writing 1, 2, 3. I got all the way up to like 85. No lie, 85. And the lesson he taught me was something. I'm going to teach you guys this too. So we were getting to the end of the class, and he gave us like a pop quiz. And we're thinking like, what? Like, we're in residency. Like, we're already doctors. Like, why do we have quizzes? Like, I didn't even know that was a thing. He gave us a pop quiz, and it was literally the only test in my entire life of school that I failed. I mean, I literally got a 0. Why did I get a 0? Because I was not paying attention. You know, I kept like checking off, waiting for him to say that filler phrase. So I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna fail out of residency. So I'm like freaking out. So now I went to talk to him, and then he said that it didn't count. He said he only did that to teach me a lesson that yes, there's a time to have fun, but more importantly, there are time and opportunities to learn something, and you don't want to miss out when you have the opportunity to learn. So that was my little story for all the jokesters out there. So yes, today we're going to do a Q&A, but try to keep it clean. You know, try to limit the jokes because we really all want to learn. All right. You know, we got to impress Brooklyn because Brooklyn is with us, and she's only going to give me probably about like 2 weeks to impress her. And then she's like, Mom, I'm out. So we got to give her some good stuff today. All right. So put it in the chat. So you can send it to me privately. Actually, I prefer you guys to send it to me privately, just so it can stand out on my chat because I get so many of the chats. And then I will answer you guys' question. Now, before we do that, I need you guys to help me out with something. So I'm going to give you guys some Bitcoin, all right? Or gold, whatever you want to call it. But other words, I'm going to help you guys take some part of your life to the next level. That's my goal, right? But I need you guys to help me. So I need you to give me some information. So this is the information that I want. And whoever want to answer it, please just raise your hand and give it to me straight. So you guys know how you guys can be. Just be honest. You guys are teenagers, and sometimes you guys get in your moods, okay? So I need you to help me. How do you snap out of your mood? So let's say, for instance, your mom was like, hey, I signed you up for a program. And this program is going to really help you in anything you could think of, whether it's sports, whether it's like socially, whether it's school, whether it's like getting a job or driving or money or whatever you want. This program will help. So I want you to do it. I signed you up for it. So do it. And guess what sometimes happens? I'm going to tell you what else sometimes happens. Sometimes what happens is this. The teenager's like, I'm mad. I don't want to do it. And y'all, this is what you do. just mad. I mean, just mad. So I could be like trying to help give these different examples, and it just like, just not paying attention. We're refused. All right. So I was coaching this teenager. She literally refused to show her mom that her mom was right. I mean, literally refused. But I broke through it, some time. So I need you guys to give me some gold, help me out. How do you get teenagers to snap out of that? If they're just super mad, they're super resistant, because there's no one more resistant than a teenager. I'm just telling you that out there now. So how do we break through the resistance? Who can help me out? Raise your hand and I'm gonna call on you. Gianna, here we go. All right, help us out, Gianna. What do you have for me?
Bribe them.
Bribe them. Okay,
Bribe them.
okay.
My dad bribed me with a PS5 in order to get my next semester correct.
Okay, PS5. Okay. So listen, if you think bribing will work and get you guys out of your mood, give me a thumbs up if bribing works for you. Thumbs up if it works. Thumbs down if it doesn't work. Oh man, bribing doesn't work. Actually, that was my go-to. I always tell the parents, like, hey, negotiate with your child. Like if you're asking them to do something, like try to give them some kind of incentives. All right. So let's see who else can give me another one. Help me out, Nishka.
If you can't positively reinforce it, threaten them. Like, say you have some video from when they were a baby, threaten to share that. And most people, they don't want to be embarrassed, so they're going to do whatever you say.
Oh man, I think I like that one. Okay, guys, we got to vote. Thumbs up if that would work for you. Thumbs down if it would not work for you. Let's see. Thumbs up or thumbs down? What do you guys have? I see a thumbs up. I see a thumbs up. I see a kind of. I see a couple thumbs down. I see a kind of. Okay. Hey, I need another one. I need it until we have 100% thumbs up. So somebody else give me something. Who else got? So I think Brooklyn was like, I'm not sure. Oh, Michael said he has something for. Okay, let's hear Michael. All right, Michael, talk to me.
Threaten them, but not in the way that she suggested. Like, threaten them, like, if you don't get your grades right, you're going to have to get a couple of bruises on your face.
Oh, man, Michael's going old school, guys. He's going old school. He says that if you don't get it right, you get that belt, the spanking. Wow. I grew up in that stage, by the way. I used to get spankings, and it worked. I will say that. I was a good kid because I was afraid of the belt, but it did not work for my sister. Man, my sister got so many beatings. If it was today, I think they would have called Child Protective Services. I don't know. So come on, somebody else give me something. I need something else. Come on, help me out. I want a person who said no. Oh, I think Louise, she mentioned something. So Louise, help us out, Louise.
To be honest, I would steal stuff. I would fight people. I would go on YouTube, or I just act violently towards my sister. And some positive things I do is make YouTube videos, watch YouTube, draw, animate, do voice acting, or sing.
Okay, I like that. Okay, so basically what Louise is saying here is that she's resistant at times, but there's also other things that she's doing that makes her feel good, right? So in other words, she was saying, hey, if you focus on the good things, like, hey, go do your thing that you like to do, like YouTube, and then your mom approaches you, how would that work for you guys? So in other words, if your parents wait until you're in a good mood and then bring it up to you, how many of you would then, be open-minded? Thumbs up or thumbs down? What do you think? I see some thumbs. I think I see one thumbs down. Everyone else is saying thumbs up. So I think we're close. So Catherine, can you help me out? So I'm going to unmute you because you guys are helping me out, right? Because I have to coach teenagers, and it's very difficult for me to do my job if a teenager is just so resistant. It's very difficult, all right? Because I'm not the parent. So all I can do is try and plead. But what could your parent do that would help you be more open-minded to things that they sign you up for?
I'm really stubborn. So when I'm mad, I ignore everyone. I don't want to talk to anyone. I'll talk to you once I'm over it. I'll go weeks without talking to people just because people make me so mad. And I don't know. I don't like when people tell me what to do. I'll do it on my own, but don't tell me what to do because it makes me not want to do it anymore.
Okay, so it sounds like what Catherine is saying is this. She's saying that, Mom, don't you dare sign me up for anything without asking me first. It's basically, I think, what she's saying. So, okay, that could be a strategy. So my recommendation to the parents would be wait until you're in good mood and you're happy and then bring it up. Now, I'm not a big fan. I will be honest, guys. Work with me here. I'm not a big fan of parents asking for permission, though, because I will say parents in some ways know more information than you do. Because think about it. I want you to answer this question honestly. Say your mom was like, hey, I met this guy. His name is RJ. He's cool. I signed you up for his 8-week program. Do you want to do it? Come on now. How many of you guys would be like, nope, I don't want to do it? Because you're thinking like, hey, I want to hang out with my friends. I want to play games. I don't want to do this stuff, right? So that's why I don't necessarily agree with just straight out asking you, but I do agree with having a discussion and seeing where you guys can work. All right. So Sean is going to leave us with one more comment, and then I'm going to turn it all over to you guys. So here we go. Sean, what do you have for me, my friend?
I think like if you're the parent and your kid's in like a bad mood or doesn't want to do something, and if you sign them up for this and they don't want to do it, you should just give them some time to do whatever they want. If they just want to be alone, or if they want to go to their friend's house, or just give them the freedom to do it. But you sign them up, but you sign it up for like later. You give them the week to just basically hang out and chill and just do everything like that.
I like it. Okay, guys, thumbs up or thumbs down. Would that work for you? If your mom was like, hey, I'm signing you up for this thing, but don't answer now. Don't worry about it. Just go out and do something. We'll talk about it next week. Would that work? Thumbs up, thumbs down. What do you think? Oh, I think we did it. I think we've gotten it. Okay. So I appreciate you guys for sharing that with me, because now I at least have 3 strategies that I can share with parents and say, listen, if you sign your kid up for this, try one of these 3 strategies. So I appreciate you guys, because that was awesome. Now I am here for you. What questions do you have for me? If you don't have questions for me, I do want to at some point address what Catherine was talking about, is this anger, all right? Because there's 2 mentalities that I want you guys to avoid. And based on the conversations that you guys are having in the chat, I think I should just go ahead and teach it to you. So if you would like for me to teach you the 2 mentalities or mindsets to avoid, how to do it, thumbs up, and I'll teach it to you. What do you think? You guys want to know that? Or do you prefer to ask me some other questions? I see 1 thumb, 2 thumbs, 3. 3's not enough. What are you guys thinking? Come on. Kaylee, Sam, what are you thinking? Brianna, Susanna, Ari, what do you think? You guys want to learn to get out of these 2 mentalities or what? Let me see. I think I know some of them, but enlighten us. Oh, wait, cool. I can do it. All right. There's 2 mentalities that you want to avoid. When I'm saying mentalities, I'm talking about, just put it this way. Let's all agree. Every single day, there are things that we want. There are things that we all want. I don't care what it is. It's better grades, more friends, to be happier, to have a better relationship with your parents, to feel important, to get attention from others, to get, more subscribers on TikTok or YouTube. I mean, there's always wants, right? You always wonder why the most successful people don't stop. You know why? It's because we are wired as humans to always want to grow and progress. We can never be comfortable. I know a couple of you guys commented on my house. I love my house. I have a nice house, but guess what? I want one 2 times or 3 times bigger, right? I don't think it's necessarily greed. It's just the way we're wired. We're wired to keep going. And this is my job for you guys, is to truly believe that you can have literally anything you want. And I'm going to teach you how to do that. Now, in order to do that, it literally comes down to your emotional state. Your emotions play the biggest part in your entire life. I can prove it to you. Right now, quickly, guys, write down one thing that you want today, something that you want right now. Write it, put it in the chat. Money, PS5, money, PS5, money, man, Twitch affiliate, new phone, new skateboard, Bitcoin. Hey, Bitcoin, man, I'm telling you, it's a big one. All right, affiliate, PS5, COVID to end. I'm with you, man. COVID killing me. People to not be mad at me. Yes, that's a good one. Sleep, a ranch to be pretty. You're pretty. I'm gonna find out who said that, and we're gonna work together on that. Pokemon cards, Bitcoin and gaming, PS5 stocks. I like some of these answers here. So the number 1 is money. So you guys want money. My question to you is, money is awesome, right? We like money. But my question is why? Why do you want money? Answer that for me real quick. Why do you want money? I like to watch stocks. Money is power. Greed to get stuff. Yes, you get stuff with money. That's for sure. All right. To afford an Xbox. All right. So this is good stuff here. The fact of the matter is this. Money could be a wonderful tool in life, no question. But the question is this: does money buy happiness? That is like the question that we always ask ourselves. If you have a bunch of money, does it mean you're going to be happier? What do you think? Kelly says no. Maddie says no. Sean said it could. And Jalen said no. Melinda says depends. Money, you said 250,000. I did. And just so you guys know about money and happiness. See, I think Devin was with me before because he knew this statistics. So they did actually a study on this. And they asked a group of people, can money make you happier? And guess what the answer was? The answer was yes and no. It can bring happiness up to a certain amount. It's crazy, but it's true. I've been through it. So that amount is $250,000. So essentially, if you're making $20,000 a year, if you somehow got a raise to $40,000, they have noticed that there's an increase in your happiness. If you go from $80,000, increase in happiness. This continues to happen up into $250,000. Now, the question is this: what happens at $250,000? Why does it stop? Explain this to me. How do you know? More money, more problems. I like that one. I'll tell you, okay? Because that was me. I went through this whole process, all right? So I started off as a broke college student. Come on now. When you're in college, you have no money at all. My mom was paying my bills. I had a job. I worked at Blockbuster. Then I quit Blockbuster. Then I was a waiter. I quit being a waiter. There was one thing about me that I'm going to share with you. I've only held a job in my entire life for 6 months. I just couldn't do it, man. You know why it was my problem? It's very difficult for me to take direction from other people. I got to do my own thing, man. I got to fly. I got to do my own thing. So I just kept quitting. I'm like, I don't like this place, quit. I don't like this place, quit. But in any case, broke. I went through dental school. I'm living on loans. All right. So I had to take a loan. I think in dental school, we had to take an $80,000 loan. No, I think it was like more close to $100,000. So $100,000 in debt, just living on loans. All right. That's dental school. Then residency, I had to live on some more. I had to get more debt. I think I took out like $40,000 in debt. Right. So I'm broke. In fact, I'm like worse than broke because I'm in a negative. So then I get out. I started working as an orthodontist. And you know, orthodontists, they do pretty well. And I got up to 250 really quickly. And it is so true. I'm telling you, the more you get money, like, man, all of a sudden, it's like, I can go on more vacation. I can do this. Just fun stuff. I can give more. And me, I'm a giver. So it's like, it makes me feel good when I can impact someone's life. But honestly, it's a true statement. After 250, it just disappears. You know why it happens? Because honestly, in America, you can buy pretty much anything you want at 250. If you make $250,000 a year, you could pretty much buy anything you want. I shouldn't say buy. You can enjoy anything you want. You can't go buy a private island. I'm telling you, you can't buy a private jet, right? But do you need that? Because you can actually just charter a jet. You can go visit an island. So that's the reason why 250,000 is the limit in the sense of your happiness with money, is because at that point, if you made 500,000 or 800,000, I mean, you still are pretty much living the same life. So I hope that kind of shares some insight, but I do want to share with you this. I want to share with you my take on the whole money thing. There are things that money can buy. Yes. Happiness comes along with that. Yes, but it's for a short while. Okay. And I'm gonna give you an example. So I have a team. I run a team, right? I have people who work for me. So the question is, do I still get frustrated whenever they drop the ball on something? The answer is yes. Not as much, but yes. Whether I had, $1 billion, I would still be frustrated, right? So regardless about how much money you make, regardless about how many friends you have, whatever you get, ultimately it comes down to you to be able to manage your emotions. And that's all that matters, because you can manage your emotions and be extremely happy as someone who's making $20,000 a year. I'll prove it. So when I first moved to Austin, I went on this kick where I was just like stopping by. We have a lot of homeless in Austin, and I would just go out and give them money. I would bring them food. And this one guy, one day I saw him and I went and I just took him to lunch. And I'm like, hey man, tell me about your life. I really want to know, like, how can somebody like me help? And he was like, you know what? If I had a place to sleep and take a shower and go to an interview, then I feel like I would not be homeless. So I was like, perfect. How about I do this? I'll pay for you 2 weeks in a hotel. 2 weeks in a hotel. I pay it all. You go stay in this hotel, you shower, do all that, and go on interviews. And then at the end of these 2 weeks, I'll come back and check on you. And if you need more time, I'll give you more time. And can you believe what happened? He left after the first day. The first day gone. And luckily, the hotel called me and told me, say, hey, I know that was a nice gesture, but we're going to refund your money. He left. So then I went and tried to find him. And sure enough, he was in the same spot. Pulled aside. I'm like, hey, like what? Come on, man. And then he told me, he's like, you know what? I thought about it. I got to the hotel and I thought about it. And he said, you know what? I'm just much happier out here. It's so much freedom. I don't have to have a job. I have friends out here. We get to hang out all day. I'm living life on my terms. And that interaction completely changed the way I thought about happiness in a sense. So you can be happy wherever you are. So now I have another question for you, Zachary and Charles. All right. I'm talking to both of you guys. If I had a magic wand where I could take Zachary out of his life and put him in Charles' life, and Charles, I'll switch you and put in Zachary's life, Do you think that would have an impact on their overall happiness? Yes or no? Give me thumbs up if you say yes. And let's just say, for instance, that Zachary has more money. He has the PS5. He has plenty of friends. He has 2 nice parents. He has everything. He's a straight A student. And let's say, for instance, Charles is like failing. He doesn't have any friends and they live on a limited income. Do you think that Charles, if he lived in Zachary's life, would he be happy? Thumbs up, yes. Thumbs down, no. I hear yes, yes. I hear lucky man. I see a couple thumbs. I see somebody sideways. Most people are saying thumbs up. Well, I'm going to tell you the answer. It's an easy answer. The answer is we don't know that. It depends, right? It all depends on your emotional state. It all depends on your emotional intelligence. Because think about this. Catherine earlier said she gets so mad. I mean, so mad that she won't talk to someone for entire weeks. Do you think if she had more money, she would still be that way? Yes. Do you think if she was making straight A's, she would still get angry at people and not talk to them for a whole week? Yes. That doesn't change. So yes, people can just put you in certain bodies and certain situations. But the point of the matter is you are still you. You still have a certain level of emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is what's going to get you success. So thumbs up if that makes sense, because I'm going to share with you how you become emotional intelligent. All right, you ready for it? Let me see. Brooklyn, you ready for this? All right, Richard, you ready? Shamaya, you ready? All right, cool. I think we're ready. So this is what I'm going to tell you guys. This is how you can start to take over your emotions. This is how you start where you're not angry all day. You're not frustrated all day. You don't have an attitude because your parents signed you up for something. I'm going to help you to take control of those emotions because I do know this. It comes naturally, right? It happens naturally. Like you want to be mad all day, right? Who enjoys just being mad all day? Nobody, right? It happens. Someone is like, I think yesterday on Friday, we talked about how smacking gum annoys some people. So someone is standing next to you and just like, some of you get so annoyed. It's just natural. Not like you want to be annoyed, but you just get annoyed. So I'm going to teach you this. This is how it works. First, in order to manage your emotions, you have to understand what is the purpose of our emotions. I'm going to call on someone because I'm curious to know what you're going to say. So I'm going to call on Aria. So Aria, what do you think? When you think of emotions, like think of us like these human beings, like creatures. We're humans. Why do we have emotions? What do you think?
I really don't know.
Thanks for being honest. I'm going to tell you. So I'll tell you exactly why we have emotions. Our emotions are designed to do 2 things for the most part. Number 1, it allows us to experience life. Okay? Think of life with no emotion. What would that be? Think about it. No emotion. We'd be robots, right? We'd be robots, essentially. So emotions is what help us to enjoy life. So think about it. When you're out having fun with your friends, you're laughing. You're laughing. That's an emotion. It's laughter. You're happy. Also, whenever you see a social injustice, you get angry. All emotions have a reason. Have a point to them, right? So it's not like I'm ever telling someone that you should never be angry in your life. Absolutely not. There's time and a place for your emotions. Now, should you be angry most of the time? No way possible. You should be happy most of the time, and I'm going to teach you how. But I will say there are times to be angry. If you ever read any books about some Holocaust survivors, they'll tell you exactly how they were able to find joy in the worst conditions. You can do it because it's mental. So our emotions are designed to experience life. So that's number 1. Number 2, they're designed to give us a message. That's it. So when you feel a certain way, it's a way of your body giving you a message. So if you are scared, so say, for instance, your friends are like, hey, I want to go bungee jumping. And you're like, I don't want to do it. You're like scared. You're scared. What message is your body trying to give you? I don't want to die, right? Essentially, it's like, no, I don't want to die. I'm not doing that. Whenever you're laughing, you're having fun with your friends, you're laughing. What message is that telling you? What is it giving you? That you enjoy hanging out with these group of people. So guess what? I want to hang out with them more. All of our emotions are giving us a message. So when you're mad, it's giving you a message. And I'm going to tell you the 2 messages that it will give you when you're angry or when you have an emotion that's not empowering. All right. So I never want to call an emotion a negative emotion because I can't say anger is a negative emotion because at times we do need anger. So the message is giving you is to do something different or to change the way you're perceiving it. Those are the 2 messages. So remember that. If you're feeling an emotion, I don't want to call them negative emotions, but if you understand emotions that way, you can say negative, it's fine. But basically, I'm talking about sadness, hatred, anger, annoying, frustration, jealousy, all of these emotions that we experience. It's two things you need to do. It's two messages. It's saying, hey, do something else or change your perspective. So I'll give you an example. Someone raise your hand so I can put you on the spot and tell me the last time you find yourself so mad. Who wants to share with me on that? Last time you were extremely mad. Okay, here we go. Jalen, help us out here, my friend. Tell us about the last time you were mad.
The last time I was mad was probably yesterday.
All right, tell me, what happened? What happened? What made you mad?
Sometimes when I have like a lot of things to do and then people start asking me to do things for them, I get like really angry.
All right, so I was mad yesterday. What specifically ticked you off? Like specifically, tell me exactly what happened.
All right, so like I was already running around, running errands, like getting groceries, going to the mall, doing like certain stuff. And then I have like people like asking me to like pick them up or do something for them. And like, I don't have time for it. So like, I get like really angry and I go off.
So tell me, how did you find yourself, you're angry, and then what else?
Annoyed. So then like, I have to like, calm down.
Okay. So you find yourself annoyed and then you calm down. So basically you just ignore them. What did you do?
What I do is be like, I don't ever say really no. I just say, we'll see. Like, I'll let you know if I can, because like, I don't like to be rude. And like, if I am able to, I will pick them up or do something for them. But it's just really annoying because like, I feel like I'm always being asked to do something for someone.
Oh, I see. Got it. All right. So did you guys hear that? So essentially, hey, thanks for sharing that, by the way. So Jalen was basically saying, I get so mad, I get angry, I'm already doing stuff, and then people are like asking me to do all these things, right? My question to Jalen is this anger, what is it teaching him? What does it tell him to do? He has two options. He can either do something different. What could he do differently? Give me an example. What could he do differently so he would not get angry? Brianna.
Either tell them that he can't do it or just, I don't know. That's just all
I think that's right. So basically what Brianna is saying is communication. He can have communication with his friends. He can be like, hey guys, I just want to tell y'all something about me. I don't know if you know this about me, but I just want to tell you. When I'm busy and I'm just doing a bunch of stuff, when you guys be asking to pick you up and all that stuff, it makes me mad, man. So how about we do this? How about you only ask me to pick you up whenever I reach out to you or something? I don't know, right? But that's doing something different. So that is very, very important for you guys to learn this habit, because if you're getting mad about the same thing over and over, and I'm not picking on Jalen because we all get mad. I mean, I have to tell myself these things, but if you find yourself getting mad over and over on the same things, you may want to do something different, right? Because you're going to find yourself just staying mad for the rest of your life over the same things. That means when you're like 50 years old and someone asks you to do something, you're still going to be mad. You don't want to deal with that, right? So the second thing is he can change his perception or his perspective, right? He could change his perspective. So I'm going to give you an example of that. So he can change the way he's thinking about it, because that's ultimately what's causing him to be mad. He's thinking, well, actually, let's hear it from Jalen's mouth. So Jalen, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself. I'm going to ask you directly. So whenever you're doing a bunch of stuff and you have a friend that's come pick me up, what is that telling you in your mind? Like, what do you ultimately believe about that make you upset?
I'm like, one, like you get like that heavy breath. You're always like, I always just tell them, I'll see. Because, I told them that I'm already doing something for my parents or for somebody else, you know what I mean? So I just tell them, look, I'll let you know if I can later on in the day. And sometimes they press me and be like, I really need you to pick me up right now. I'll be like,
so what is that saying to you? So you're like, hey, let's do it later. But something right there is like, hey, I need you to pick me up. What is that saying to you when they tell you that?
Then at that point, that means it has to be something serious that I have to go out of my way. And, sometimes it might not even be that serious and they just tell me to pick them up. And then that gets me even more angry because now you just took time out of my day from doing something just for me to go pick you up because...
Bingo, he just said it. Thank you, Jalen. He just said it. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear what he just said? So he's saying whenever someone is asking him to pick him up, he's basically perceiving that or interpreting that as they are taking time away from my day. They don't care about my time. I have all these things to do and they don't care about my time. So naturally, he's going to be upset. That's natural, right? You're supposed to be upset, right? So the second thing he can do other than talk to them, that was the one thing you could change, is to change the way he's perceiving that. What is another interpretation? Who knows? What's another interpretation? I'm going to ask Jalen. I'm going to go back to you. What is another interpretation when your friends are like, hey, pick me up? What is another interpretation?
Well, after I'm done getting mad or something, be like, I just tell them like, it is what it is, deal with the situation, just go with it and just ignore it after. When I'm with people, I don't really like to show them that I'm angry or mad sometimes, unless they really get me mad, which is really hard to. but most of the time I just ignore it. I take them wherever they need to go, and then I just go and mind my day.
Got it. So essentially what Jalen is saying that is you can come up with a different interpretation. So I'm gonna ask you guys a quick question. Could you read someone's mind? Is it possible to read minds? It's not, right? So if someone was to do something to make you mad or upset, you are interpreting what they said or what they did, essentially. So when someone's like, hey, Jalen, pick me up, man. And he's like, well, I'm busy. No, pick me up is important. And he sees it's not important. Jalen can interpret that as like, hey, man, this dude is selfish. They only care about themselves. I have so much to do. Or he can interpret it as, you know what? Maybe they just really wanted to hang out with me. Or maybe they are like at home really feeling frustrated with their siblings and they just need to get out. Or maybe they want to develop the relationship with me even more and they want to spend more time with me. We can change our interpretations because guess what happens? If you change your interpretation, it changes the way you feel, ultimately, right? Does that make sense? Thumbs up if that makes sense. If you change your interpretation, you can change the way you feel. All right, so I'm going to give you guys another example. I know I pick on Brooklyn a lot, but I'm going to really pick on her now. All right, Brooklyn, come on down, Brooklyn. So, hey, Brooklyn, so tell me, when is the last time you felt extremely annoyed?
It was last semester in school.
So first of all, that's kind of cool because that means you haven't been annoyed or angry since last semester. So that's kind of awesome. So great job on that. Okay, but tell me what happened.
My teacher kept trying to say I wasn't joining Google Meets, but I was. So.
Okay, so basically you were, and believe it or not, I've heard this so much with the start of COVID. It's crazy how much I've heard this. But basically, Brooklyn is saying that she was doing these Google Meets and the teacher's like, no, you were not. So of course she would be naturally mad about that, right? Who wouldn't be mad about that? So like explain to me inside your mind, like what really made you mad?
He was just so persistent about it. Is that the word? Yeah. You just really thought I wasn't doing it, but I know I was.
So essentially she was calling you a liar. And who here enjoys being called a liar? Especially when they're telling the truth. No one, right? So did you see why Brooklyn would be mad about that? It's not the action, or it's not even the words that the teacher used. It wasn't even the fact to say, hey, Brooklyn, you were not on Google Meet. Her voice did not make Brooklyn mad. What made her mad was the fact that she called her a liar, essentially. And I bet you Brooklyn may have a high value of honesty. So essentially, she felt like she was getting called a liar. She said, listen, I know I'm doing this. Now, what is something that Brooklyn can do? How could she change her interpretation? Is it possible, I'm asking you guys, is it possible that the teacher confused her with another student and really thought that Brooklyn was not there? That's possible. Is it possible that the teacher had a bad day and was like just in one of those moods, right? It's possible. There's so many different reasons why that could have happened. That wasn't calling Brooklyn a liar, right? So if Brooklyn, now she's over it, that's awesome. But in the future, emotional intelligence, you guys want to maintain this high level of emotional state, is to change your interpretation. Just change it. Just say, you know what? I would ask myself this question. Is it possible there's another interpretation? That's all you have to do. Ask yourself that question. Next time somebody makes you mad or you get angry, just say, is it possible there's another interpretation? Is it possible? And if the answer is yes, which is always yes, because you can't read minds and you can't predict the future, you can't see everything. If the answer is yes, then you want to ask yourself, really dive into those other interpretations. What are other interpretations? Maybe she was mad. Maybe my mom thought she was doing what's best for me and she loves me and she cares about me. Maybe my teacher confused me with another person. Maybe my friend just want to spend time with me, right? And when you start to believe those other interpretations, it actually makes you feel better. Because the goal, remember, the goal is to maintain the high emotional state. That is the goal. You don't want to go through life angry all the time. We use anger to our advantage, right? There are times we get angry. When I was playing basketball, I used to get angry in the game, but it actually boosted me, right? So that was a time for me to use my anger. Even now, I would use my anger if someone was trying to harm my child. Because I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. I would use anger. I'm using that. I'm not letting anger use me, right? I'm choosing that. But ultimately, you guys want to maintain a high emotional state. And what are the 3 emotions that you want to try to maintain? Who knows those 3? Haley, I know you know this. Aiden, you've been with me long enough. I know you know this. Naveen knows it. Andrew knows it. Nishka knows it. Michael knows it. Michael Fluckinger, he knows it. Justine knows it. Melinda knows it. So what are those 3 emotions? I'll tell you one of them. Happiness. That's one. Excitement and inspiration. Those are the 3. All right. Excitement, inspiration, and happiness. If you can maintain these three emotions, you can literally get anything you want. I'm just telling you, that is the secret, man. I don't know why they don't share this secret with people. I don't know why we see so many like adults who are just not happy in life and who do not have what they want in life. But come on, if you can maintain these three emotions, you can get what you want. And I'll tell you the reason why this is the case. Say, for instance, you wanted more friends. Do you think you being sad is going to get you more friends? I'm just curious. Yeah, you may get one friend or two. Because you know what? I found that they have these groups where it's like these depression groups. I don't know if you guys have heard of them. It's like you want to compete against somebody else's depression. Like, hey, I'm terrible. I'm horrible. I'm ugly. No, I'm uglier than you. I'm ugly. I'm horrible. I'm like, I was blown away when I first heard about that, man. Like, what? I don't know. I don't know what it is, to be honest. I haven't really encountered anyone who was in those groups, but I was like, what? I didn't even know that was a thing because it seemed like it would be the other. It's like, hey, how do we like feed off of each other and be happier? But in any case, my point is this. It's going to be difficult to really achieve your goals if you're sad. It's going to be very difficult to achieve your goals if you're mad, angry, annoyed. You're not going to achieve your goals. You know why? Because your body is designed to go to fight or flight response whenever you're experiencing those emotions. So whenever you're mad, angry, sad, all that, your body literally zeroes in and highlights whatever situation that's at. So perfect example, say for instance, one of your friends left you on red, and then you found out that that friend was with another friend and they were talking about you behind your back. Immediately, I don't care what is going on in your life, your focus is going to literally go to that. And you're going to be focused on that all day. You're going to be sad for weeks, right? Some of you guys probably have experienced this. You're going to be sad, mad, whatever. That will literally hold you back from meeting other people and doing other things, getting the things that you want. So Justine said that just happened. See, I can read minds. No. And Louise said, no, you cannot hurt someone. You don't do that. That's not the way. So when I'm telling you, because remember, Louise, the reason we have emotions, what are they? If somebody did that to you, what could you do? You could do something about it. No, not fight, but do something about it as far as communication, or you could change your perception. Maybe they thought you said something about them and they were just reacting to you. Or maybe they were jealous of you because you made straight A's and they didn't, and they were sad and whatever, right? Maybe they're struggling at home. Maybe they have an abusive parent, right? We don't know what people go through, right? We don't know. But if you change your interpretation, then you won't be so angry. So essentially, these emotions will help you. Happiness, excitement, and inspiration. If you want to be a straight A student right now, if you can maintain inspiration, excitement, and happiness in school, it's guaranteed you're going to be a straight A student. How do I know that? One, I'm a coach. All right. I've coached teenagers for the past 6 years all over the country. And, outside of friendships, doing better in school is like one of the big ones. It's usually friends is number one, school is number two. And then three is shy. The person's just shy. They want to be more social, but they're just super shy. So those are the top three that I coach all over across the country. And the reason why I was able to have so much success is because I understand if I can change their emotions around whatever they're doing, I can change their success. I'm going to give you a quick example. So there was this kid who was making pretty much straight C's. He hated school. The parents didn't make it easier, okay? And trust me, parents are human. They don't know everything. So the mom actually made it worse by just getting on top of him and badgering him. It's like, you need to do this. You need to do this, like just on top of him, right? And you guys experience that. It's hard, especially if you're kind of feeling like down about yourself. It's hard to then have your parents like, So that made it worse. So eventually he stopped trying. He said, you know what? I don't care about school. You care about school more than me, parents. So I don't care anymore. So that's when I got involved. And the first thing I did was I told him, hey, you are acting the way you're supposed to be acting towards school. You hate school. You think school is boring. Of course, you're going to make C's. Now, the question is, what would be different if you like school? So I'm going to ask that question for some of you guys. If you're not straight A student, what would be different if you actually enjoyed school? You think you make better grades? Thumbs up if you make better grades if you enjoyed school. If you thought school was just as fun as playing video games, thumbs up if you make better grades. Okay, so all you saying yes if I enjoy school. So that means the secret is, how do you enjoy something that you don't like? Right? Like, how can you enjoy school if you don't like school? Who knows the answer? Put in the chat. What's the answer? Someone says you can't. Hey, I wouldn't have a job if that was the case. So how do we do this? I'm going to tell you how you do it. For me to tell you that school and try to convince you that school is fun would be pointless. Okay? It's pointless because you already experienced it and you said, hey, school is not fun. Now, Louise said she likes school, but I'm talking to all the people who think school is not fun. And in this case, I'm talking about the person who I was coaching. They said, like Charles, they're like, school is terrible. I don't like school. So this is how you do it. Many of you may think school is boring and fun, but you still want the straight A. So then that question becomes, how then can you get the straight A's? If we know that being happy, excited, and inspired about school is the answer to straight A's, how do you get that? That is the question. How do you get it? All right, I'm going to tell you. I know the suspense is killing you. I'll tell you. And plus, we only have like 7 minutes left, so I'm going to tell you. So the way you do this is you have to change your thoughts about it. We touched on this a little bit earlier about the whole friendship when I was talking about Jalen. I was like, hey, Jalen, if you change the way you thought about your friends asking you to hang out, then it would make you feel differently, right? Well, it's the same thing about school. You have to change the way you think about school. So you're telling me it's boring, but I'm going to ask you, how do you know it's boring? Who told you it was boring? Because I can tell you what, you didn't always think that way. When you were 2 years old or 3 years old, you couldn't wait to go to school. You saw your older siblings trying to go to school and you couldn't wait to go to school. And over the years, something changed. You somehow was like, oh, school is not fun. I don't like it anymore. All right. So I'm telling you, you have to change the way you think about school by reconditioning your mind back to the way you had it then. So I'm going to tell you how to do that. So right now it's snowing, but when I was coaching a teenager, I was trying to tell him this principle that you can change your mind to believe anything you want, whatever it is. So we do this often if someone thinks they're ugly, right? If you go in the mirror every day for 21 days and you say, I am beautiful, in the mirror, you look at yourself, you would believe that you're beautiful. It's proven. Go try it if you don't believe me. 21 days. You got to do 21 days. There's some significance to 21 days, but you have to do it in a row. So I told this kid, he didn't believe me. He's like, RJ, I don't believe it. I said, okay, go outside every day. Look at the sky and say the sky is red every single day. And I'm not talking about like in the evening time or sunset. I'm talking about in the middle of the day. Go outside and say it's red. And one person I was like, hey, go outside and say it's purple. And somebody else I said it's pink. They did it 21 days. And guess what? They saw pink, red, and all these other colors in the sky. Why is that? Because your mind doesn't know what is real or fake. It has no clue. All it knows is what you believe. So that is how you change your mindset around school. You literally tell yourself every single day, school is fun. School is interesting. I enjoy school. You go through this process literally every day for 21 days. And guess what? I'm not saying you're going to be like head over heels for school. I'm not saying that you're going to like say, I'm going to throw away my PS5 and just study all day. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that when you go to school, you're not going to be like, oh, I don't want to do this. You're going to be like, oh yeah, school is actually pretty cool. I kind of like school. And guess what's going to happen after that? Your emotions are going to change. You're going to start feeling happier. And guess what happens with emotions? Emotions produce what? Starts with an A. Actions. So if you start liking school more, guess what? You're going to pay attention more. You're going to start to receive information more because your mind won't be tunnel vision anymore, right? It's going to be open to the things that the teacher is saying. So that is the challenge for you guys. If you want to change the way you think about anything, I don't care what it is, whether it's the way you look, the belief about yourself, about school, you got to change what you're saying to yourself because that's what your mind believes. All right. So for all you who wanted thumbs up, who gave me thumbs up about a straight A's, I want you from now on for 21 days, every time school comes up, I want you to start thinking differently. It's going to happen naturally. You're going to be like, I have a homework assignment. Oh, I don't want to do it. But you got to stop. You got to catch yourself and say, you know what? This is fun. I enjoy this. Now, yes, you're going to feel like you're lying. Keep going. It won't feel that way. School is actually kind of cool. This is fun. Yeah, I can do this. This is cool. Reading a book. I got this assignment I do. Oh, I don't want to do this. No, this book is interesting. I can't wait to learn. If you literally do this for 21 days, you're going to change the way you feel about school and you're going to naturally change your grades. I've been doing this for too long, guys. It works. So hopefully you'll take my advice on this. And for all of you who question their looks, who says I'm ugly, I'm fat, or whatever else you say about that, I would say do the same thing. You look in the mirror and you tell yourself, I am beautiful, because we all know what? Beauty, there's no standard. There's no set standard to say, hey, if you're this way, you're beautiful. It's whoever's looking at you or how you look at yourself. That's what matters. So you have to literally tell yourself 21 days in the mirror, I am beautiful. I'm beautiful. And you're going to start to believe it. You're going to start to develop confidence. So that is the goal for you guys. So never, ever feel like you are stuck believing something. You could change any belief anytime you want. And that is the reason why success is 80% mental and 20% strategy. So remember that it's 80% mental, 20% strategy. That is the reason I've been able to help cheerleaders make a cheer squad. I don't know anything about cheerleading, nothing. I've helped kids in lacrosse. I've helped people with singing. I don't even know how to sing. I can't sing. I sing in the shower and it sounds terrible, but I can still help someone. Why? Because I know that their success is mental. And if I can get them to change the way they're thinking, then I know I can get them to change the way they're feeling and then change their actions, which gives you the result. That makes sense. Thumbs up, guys. Thanks, and I'll see you guys next week. I hope you enjoy listening to the group coaching session. And I also hope that you are able to learn something that would help strengthen the relationship between you and your teenager. Until next time, this is a teen's perspective, helping parents see the future.